In a world filled with noise, speed, and pressure, people are increasingly disconnected from themselves. We get caught up in the chase for success, recognition, and societal expectations. We try to change our external circumstances, yet often forget that the root of many problems lies within. The Mind Trap is not just a book about how the mind works. It's an invitation to awaken, to see the subtle traps our mind set for us, and to rediscover true inner freedom. What sets this book apart is its clarity and depth. It doesn't offer superficial advice or motivational cliches. Instead, it gently guides readers inward to observe, understand, and unravel the invisible mental patterns that keep them stuck in cycles of fear, self-doubt, and constant dissatisfaction. From the very first chapter, the author presents a startling truth. Our minds are not always our allies. The mind constantly shifts between past regrets and future worries, rarely allowing us to be fully present. It crafts imaginary fears, distorted narratives, and automatic judgments, most of which are not grounded in reality. But the moment we recognize that we are not our thoughts, we begin to loosen the first knot of the mental trap. One of the most insidious traps discussed in the book is invisible fear. We are not afraid of what is, but of what we imagine. Fear of failure, rejection, comparison, not being good enough. These shadows creep into our decisions, our relationships, and our self-worth. However, once we courageously observe fear with awareness, we realize it is often nothing more than a ghost, powerful only when left unexamined. Another key trap is the unconscious loop, our tendency to repeat emotional patterns and reactions without even realizing it. We become like machines, stuck in habitual responses triggered by the same internal cues. The book teaches that only through present moment awareness can we begin to break free from this loop and consciously reshape the way we think, feel, and respond to life. The book also explores ego and illusion of control. The mind craves predictability. It sets expectations and constructs rigid narratives. When reality doesn't match those stories, we feel anxiety or disappointment. But life, by its very nature, is uncertain. True peace is not found in controlling what happens, but in surrendering the need to control and responding with conscious intention instead. A recurring theme is the trap of emotional identity. Many of us equate emotions with truth. I feel afraid, so I must be incapable, or I feel sad, so something must be wrong. But emotions are not facts. They are passing waves of energy. By learning to feel without identifying, we begin to reclaim power over how we live and act. One of the most transformative insights from the book lies in how we self-identify. We often label ourselves based on past experiences. I'm not confident. I always mess things up, or this is just who I am. These mental labels become cages. But when we realize that we are not fixed beings, that we are constantly evolving, we give ourselves permission to rewrite our own story. Importantly, the book does not advocate massive, dramatic change. Instead, it emphasizes small, intentional steps, daily moments of awareness, a shift in one reaction, a few minutes of stillness. These micro-actions can trigger profound inner transformation. The practice of regularly observing your inner world is the most powerful training to free your mind from its own traps. Another deeply resonant lesson is the trap of never enough. In a world of social comparison and constant validation seeking, we often measure our worth by how much we have, how we look, or what others think. But this chase leaves us empty. True contentment comes not from having more, but from seeing what you already have with gratitude and presence. As the book reaches its final chapters, it delivers a powerful realization. Inner freedom doesn't mean you'll never face problems. It means problems no longer control you. When you live with awareness, observing rather than reacting, choosing rather than defaulting, you begin to experience a deeper, unshakable freedom. Success, as redefined by the author, isn't about external achievements or social applause. It's about becoming the most authentic version of yourself. It's about living in alignment with your values, grounded in integrity, and acting with intention. The highest form of success is not being admired, but being present, purposeful, and at peace with who you are. In essence, the book gives us a beautiful roadmap for mindful living. Pause, observe, understand, choose. This is a path out of the mind trap, a path that leads not just to clarity and freedom, but to a life of quiet power, meaningful action, and deep joy. If you feel stuck, overwhelmed, or trapped in repeating emotional cycles, pause. Begin by noticing the patterns in your mind. The moment you see the trap is the moment you begin to free yourself. You don't need to become someone new. You simply need to return to who you truly are, calm, clear, and conscious. Start today. Start with awareness. Start with one breath. And from there, step by step, you will walk yourself out of the invisible traps and into a life of meaning, presence, and freedom.